I was actually I watched the Trap Lord Ross video he put out about the rise and fall of Bobby Shmurda.
I watched that as well, I'd like to say.
And I would just he made some really good points about how like it's basically the same thing, like, you know, free Bobby Shmurda or whatever, but like I didn't really realize how self-incriminating he was at the time too.
Right.
Like you see, like they were like posting like those vlogs and he was like selling dope in the vlog.
In the vlog,
bro, or just like
that's crazy.
He was allegedly running in barbershops and doing crazy shit, and like I don't know, I feel like Trap Lord Ross kind of really gave me a different insight to where I was like, wow,
into your own culture. It took a guy from England
nah,
to let you know about Brooklyn.
I didn't know that. Like, you know, like this nigga compiled a lot of evidence that I did not know about, and just really like I was like, damn, he was really snitching on himself out here.
And I mean,
you can't be mad at that, you know.
I mean, I think that is the one conversation that, and I'm glad we're having this conversation instead of the pandemic conversation. But I think that the one thing that people really are hesitant to comment on is the fact that someone like Pop Smoke, you know, Pop Smoke, rest in peace, but Pop Smoke's music was inherently gang-related, violence-related. Almost every goddamn lyric, every
like
song for sure is saying, basically, fuck you to the other side. You're not going to do anything to me, and I will pull up and shoot you. And at a certain point, it's like, you know, we can't just act like putting that kind of content out into the world doesn't necessarily come with any sort of repercussions one way or another, because you saw how it went down with Bobby Shmurda. I still to this day am looking at Pop Smoke's career like, how long was it going to take for the cops to get him? You know?
Yeah, no, that's
I think
facts.
they're already fucking looking.
I bet that if we could fucking crack open all their cases and stuff, hell yeah, they must have had fucking they probably had a whole team trying to figure out how to put Pop Smoke under the jail.
Somebody
the same way
Adam,
that
Adam talking crazy.
Adam always talking crazy. What kind of shirt is that?
Supreme. You can't read, nigga.
That's actually a Supreme shirt. But
what are the humans?
They actually collabed with these monks, because I remember when the shirt came out.
It's not a collab. This nigga's looking at my tag like it's not a real
Supreme tag.
What the fuck?
But you don't remember when this album came out?
Do you see this Palm Angel? Like, don't ever disrespect my drip, bro.
Do you see this Palm Angels?
I don't see it.
Where did that brand come from?
LA somewhere.
No one knows. I don't know.
It's from LA.
But you don't remember the album that came out with those monks on the cover of it, and that's blatantly what this is based on?
What album?
There was some monks, and they put out an album.
It was a monk album?
I swear to God, this is a real thing. Does anyone else remember this?
Did this come out fucking like 1998 or something?
This was a long time ago.
Genre?
Yeah, I was probably like 5 years old.
It's like chanting music.
Oh.
That's probably the whole purpose of this then, yeah. Like you said.
Viral monk album. I swear to God.
Adam,
viral monk album. I swear to God.
Adam, I was probably like 5 years old.
I hate that I do my own. Like, I'm just gonna search monk album. I'm telling you, man.
I believe
this album was huge.
I feel like that album is what like the Hamburger Helper album was for us.
God, the Hamburger Helper.
Remember the
that was like a
Hamburger
couple of
Helper
years
one?
ago.
Wait, this was a couple years ago?
Monk
No.
album 90s. Why am I having a hard time with this? Fuck. Oh yeah, Chant.
There we go.
A compilation album by the Bendocene monks of Santo Domingo de Silos.
Whoa.
Chant is a compilation album of Gregorian chant.
Oh, that's exactly what the graphic is right there.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And that's what's weird about it.
It's not a collab. They just ripped it off.
I think it might have been a collab.
It's not a collab. It's not a collab.
You don't think? Look at
They had to pay them for the artwork.
Monk Supreme shirt. It has to be a collab.
It's not an official collab.
I don't
think
understand
they
how
just ripped the
Supreme
artwork
would have
off.
just fucking done that.
I think they're too big of a company to just steal an image from the
I
fucking
don't think you
internet.
guys
I don't even see
how this shit works.
I think the shirts might be fake because I can't
Are you
find any
stupid?
examples of it on
Gilded.
social media.
You're stupid
Gilded.
as fuck.
Oh wait, this came out in 2019.
Yeah.
I just want to know if it's an official collab.
It's not a collab, bro. I know Supreme. It's just like a Supreme shirt. They just took the graphic and changed it a little bit and put Supreme on it. I love how Adam's bum ass is trying to call me out like I'm wearing a fake Supreme shirt.
In 1994,
you don't know anything about this.
In 1994, the Monks had a massive out-of-nowhere hit with their debut, simply titled Chant, a double-disc collection that collected recordings made at their monastery in remote Spain. The CD sold more than 3 million copies worldwide, and its cover, a surrealistic image depicting monks floating in Simpsons blue sky, has become iconic among housewives, college kids, ravers, slackers, yuppies, hippies, alt rockers, and new agers.
Wait, literally everybody.
Yeah, I'm all those things.
They did collab with them, for the record.
So I'm saying like
it is an official collab.
Well, let me see.
Really? It said so?
I mean, that's what I was getting.
It didn't say Supreme X Monk.
We could do some more.
Supreme X Monk collab.
Supreme X Bendocino Choir, whatever the fuck
San
it's called.
Domingo Monk collab.
Nah.
Listen, I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna fucking listen to
They
that
said
album.
they said Adam wears Fashionova.
Oh yeah, he does wear Fashionova.
Adam does wear Fashionova because Fashionova actually has great prices. It comes super fast. Even if you have the coronavirus, they will still deliver to you. Actually, we would appreciate it if you don't actually go out and cough in the face of the delivery guy, even though the delivery guy presumably is not associated with Fashionova. But Fashionova is just like, it's really been helping me get through this flu season.
Jeans right now, right?
I am right now.
You want to show the people?
Sure.
Pull your ass up.
Looks good, right?
It's good for little swivel movements.
You know, a little swivel. Anyway, Fashionova, yeah, is just, you know, they're great. Thank you so much for supporting No Jumper. Yes, Fashionova is actually suing 6ix9ine.
No way.
Because 6ix9ine, apparently they signed a deal with him and they gave him like $250,000
I remember this. He was posting them a lot.
for Instagram posts and for what was it? Instagram posts and like mentions in his lyrics or some shit. And now they don't want anything to do with them. Like they're not saying like, oh, keep the money and then you can do the post when you get out of jail. Fashion Nova actually believes that the snitching that 6ix9ine perpetrated is actually detrimental to their brand. They're an anti-snitch brand. We're not sure exactly how Fashion Nova feels about the coronavirus. Presumably anti, but yeah, they're anti-snitching. They don't like 6ix9ine anymore. Apparently,
I'm team 6ix9ine.
But don't you get paid per post? Or do you think he just got paid all of it?
I think that when you're 6ix9ine, you can probably
You
negotiate
probably
something
negotiate. Give me all the money, fucking now.
a little on top of the average OnlyFans Fashion Nova post. But yeah, I mean that's something.
I said House
remember
Phone got
lyrics.
purple lipstick on tonight.
You have purple lipstick on?
I don't think so.
That's kind of fucked up. That's racist.
Yeah, that's
That is
kind of
fucked
racist.
up.
Yeah.
Purple pickle.
They keep calling
Purple Ape.
everything COVID
Purple Ape.
22.
It's kind of scary because you know, like my
Cam girl
girlfriend,
can't
she's just
wear
in the
Fashion
crib.
Nova.
Like she's just like
Fucked up in the crib.
She's a little bit more scared than me,
Who?
Lena. She's just kind of like in the crib a little bit more.
I'm
So
not.
she
Okay,
feels a
this
little
is the
weird
thing.
about it.
I want to talk about it. I'm not that scared because it's not fucking. If you're not
not
over,
the black
if you're not
plague.
over 60 years old or have like previous respiratory illnesses, you're gonna be fine.
But so you want the
death rate-
elderly to die?
No, I'm saying me personally. Me
Right.
as a human
Like I'm
being,
not
me.
necessarily scared of the virus. I'm just scared more of people freaking out and just doing weird shit, which they are doing.
Yeah.
And I'm scared of this new world order they're about to try to push on us.
I mean, I am
This
scared.
digital age.
I'm scared about a large percentage of the population dying. I think that would be, for the most part, pretty bad.
Yeah, definitely really
And
bad.
then I also feel like the economic destruction that presumably is going to be associated with this, all the people that I'm predicting like mass starvation and shit if the government doesn't intervene.
I'm not thinking.
I think they have
that
enough food.
Economic
grim,
ruin.
but-
It's going to happen. People are going to be starving to death. There is going to be so many unintended consequences of this. It's going to change everything. And it feels so weird that we're actually really talking about this because there's a lot of people that have been warning us about the fact that this was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder how blind we're going to be able to be towards it going forward. Like, will people really be able to continue to operate their businesses and stuff in such a way that they're
The way that you're
not worried
talking
about
makes
this?
me feel like I should go home and like go scavenge for food. It's like, what the fuck are we doing sitting here
Mm.
with microphones?
Yeah.
If we're gonna go through mass starvation.
I don't know when or how long it would take for us to actually get to the point that
That
people
sounds
started
insane.
really running out of food. Because for me, it's like I'm still ordering fucking Bossa Nova, and that's, you know, feels pretty decadent. Feels like I'm not really, you know, recoiling into a ball and just eating ham sandwiches. Although maybe I should be.
I don't know. I wasn't thinking that.
You weren't thinking
grimly.
it was going to be this bad.
No.
It's
Yeah.
pretty bad, Kim.
I mean, I know it's bad. I'm
I
just
know
like,
it's bad, but I
Kids
don't
being
think
out of
it's
school
like,
for months is, I mean, was there ever any time in your
Never.
life in which you had
Definitely not.
ever predicted,
Never.
like if I had told you a couple months ago that there would come a time in
Mm-hmm.
the next year where kids would be pulled out of school for 3+ months, you would have laughed at me. You'd be like, that's not going to happen, Adam. There's nothing in our society possible that would make it so that kids would have to be pulled out of school for 3 months, or that people wouldn't be able to go into work
Restaurants.
for months. And,
or have fucking curfew bans and bans at home.
and this is the thing, is that the government can like reduce interest rates and stuff like that. They can do things that'll make it so that you'll be more confident about going out and buying an iPad. But the problem is that on the supply side, there's just not going to be iPads for people to buy because everything's shut down in China as well. So like all these things that are normally being produced at a steady rate are just not going to be being produced the same way. And it could like maybe we could actually be entering an era of significant scarcity in the sense that, you know, we've all been used to just kind of having too much shit.
Yeah, and everything available at any time.
It's maybe a good thing, man.
No. I think all the dead people probably make it a net bad thing. But it could definitely make us...
No, I meant
it's a wake-up call to start living our lives differently, probably.
That's what I meant. I didn't mean it that, like, people dying was a good thing. I meant, like, it'll, like, wake us up and how to change. And, like, honestly, this is... a good break that I feel like everyone kind of needs, bro. Like everyone's been going to the same fucking Coachella and fucking South by Southwest every year,
taking it for granted.
It's making you realize how kind of stupid that shit is when it's like compared to
like real life shit. Yeah,
there's so much shit that we were taking for granted. I remember a couple of months ago, not even a couple of months ago, it might have been
weeks ago,
a month ago. I was having the conversation with Lena where I was like, think about this. In China, there's an area as big as Chicago and the surrounding area. I think I said this on the podcast the other day. An area that big that was on lockdown during like what was essentially like the holiday season. I was like, think about how insane that is. An area that big, with that big of a population, having to just stay in the house. They can't get on flights to go to other cities and stuff. That's the whole world right now.
Yeah.
And I was acting like it was crazy to imagine an area on the other side of the world that was under those regulations at that time. And now that's everywhere. That quickly. What the fuck?
It's fucking St. Patrick's Day. No bars are open.
It's St. Patrick's Day and nobody cares.
Nobody's drinking green beer. Nobody's drinking green beer, bro.
You're drinking green.
Or what is it? Shamrock shakes.
Shamrock shakes.
We were just at McDonald's. We should have went and got one.
They didn't even have it like displayed.
When you go to McDonald's, you can't sit down in there, I'm assuming?
Who really gives a fuck about St. Patrick's Day, really?
You guys did drive-thru?
What's the
drive-thru? I'm pretty sure you can't sit.
Because when I go into, you can't even put your own sugar in the coffee cup at Starbucks.
Well, why would I want somebody else to put sugar in it for me?
Because that's what they do, is that they have the sugar. They have the sugar out, so you have to do it yourself. And then now, that when you order...
They don't have just packets?
Normally, my whole thing has always been hot coffee with almond milk. Then I take it and I put the fucking half a pack of Equal in it by myself.
Somebody said everyone's too worried about coronavirus. I almost feel the same way, too.
Everybody's too worried. I think that the mass deaths is probably like the main reason that I don't think people are being too worried. And the fact that all these people that we're talking about are still going out and like blatantly putting a shitload of other people at risk. I don't think that we could possibly be too worried about it at this point.
This is the thing that has been really pissing me off, real. So like this past weekend, like I think Sunday, I woke up to a bunch of missed calls from like these girls that I know. They're like out like at this brunch fucking like restaurant club thing, and they're all like, you know that remember that song Swag Surf? Like, man, I got that swag. They're all swag surfing in this club, touching each other.
They deserve to die.
Bro, I was like, every one of you guys are fucking retarded. And they're like, I was just like watching people's stories, and they're like all like drunk and all hanging out and all partying and shit. And like, I was like, yo, you guys are actually fucking idiots.
At least have the decency to get drunk with like 5 or 6 people in your own home.
That's cool. But like, it was like at least 150 people in a fucking club in K-Town. And they're swag surfing and dancing on tables and shit. I'm like, you guys are fucking retarded.
What race do you think deserves the most blame for all this?
Well, black people can't get it, so.
I'm just kidding. Think about the fact that Waka Flocka said that on a show like a week ago. And then now like a whole bunch of NBA players have it. The CEO of Universal Music has it.
Oh my God.
That means you probably
Lucian Grange. He's a 60-year-old man, which granted, yes, he's old, but he has it. He's like probably one of the most powerful men in the music industry. And the thing...
Idris Elba got it.
Idris Elba is another insane one that as soon as you...
the scary part is how do you even get tested? Because a lot of people are being turned away because their symptoms aren't severe enough. And, you know, in Korea, they're making like drive-through fucking testing. And like, you know, they're able to test like so many people. But here, a lot of people are being turned away. It's crazy.
NoJumper.com. Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you want one of these, you know where to go. And then No Jumper Facebook too. Link is down in the description. Some good stuff going on over there. Appreciate y'all watching this.